Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic. So this is the day after the Times Crossword Championship, and if you didn't look at the comments on yesterday's video, thank you so much for all the comments. You may not know that I was victorious again and managed to retain the trophy for the 14th time, if I'm honest. So it was an absolute delight. It was a great pleasure to meet many familiar faces and a lot of the setters and the people who run the show, Mick Hodgkin, David Parfitt, Roger Phillips, Peter Biddlecombe, some very important names in the world of crosswords. And I even met Simon for about the third time this year, maybe the fourth. So that was a pleasure too. And was able to pass on Poulet Bellet's Canadian goodies finally, which was good news. No, it was a great time. It definitely played into my hands that the puzzles this year were very hard. And I mean, there's just literally no way of getting around that. In the first round, which I think was meant to be the easiest, 115 competitors sat in the hall and 10 of us managed to get all 3 puzzles right within an hour, completely right. There were a lot of traps in individual clues that tripped up 1 or 2 people. And you could qualify for the second round with as many as 10 answers not completed, which has not happened before. It was really interesting. And then the final puzzle itself was an absolute brute. But as I say, it works very well for me, because if it was just a shootout on an easy puzzle, I wouldn't win. It worked well that it was like that. And very many congratulations to Roger Crabtree and Matthew Marcus for coming second and third. And there was also David Howell and Chloe Hutton in the final. And to Craig Fothergill for winning a prize for the best new entrant. And I know Craig from the Magpie, so that was great. Anyway, very well done to those people. And I had a good day. Thank you to the organisers. Right, that's enough about yesterday. Let's move on to the advertising. We've got some great stuff on Patreon. The Extra Bite Hunt by Skunkworks. That is this month's reward, open as a prize, possibility until the 20th. And we've got Simon's hard crossword solve videos. I still haven't put up my solves of Spider by Sabre. That'll come up soon. I think what we might do on Patreon, actually, I said that was enough about tomorrow, but I think tomorrow the Times will publish the final puzzle that they showed us yesterday. Now, I don't have a copy of that until they publish it, but I might record a video going through what I think my thoughts were on the stage. Anyway, we'll I don't know, maybe that will, maybe it won't happen. A teaser to something that may never happen. Anyway, other things under the video will tell you the way to SVEN'S Sudoku Pad, which you could support, to the CTC Discord server, and all of our apps, which do feature Arrow Sudoku and Fog of War Sudoku, and The Worms by luminaries like Phistomefel and Michael Lefkowitz. Do check those out. But the first link is to this puzzle, Counting and Whispering by Lithium Ion. Actually, maybe the first link is to a live stream of the final of the crossword solve yesterday. And then the second link is to Lithium Ion. But this Lithium Ion, and I don't know why I'm tackling this today. I should have gone for something easy. Lithium Ion is never easy. But we will see how we get on with this. So I'm going to go through the rules of counting and whispering. Normal Sudoku rules apply. 1 to 9 in every row, every column, and every 3 by 3 box. Digits along an arrow sum to the number, the digit in its black circle. Okay, the arrows go to black circles and they work normally. Digits may repeat along an arrow if allowed by other rules. A digit X in a circle, including black arrow circles and red circles. So all the circles indicate exactly how many of the up to 8 neighbouring cells, i.e. orthogonally and diagonally adjacent cells, contain a digit that differs by at least 5 from X. Okay, there's a lot of words in that sentence. What that means, I think, is that this cell, let's colour it purple, is looking at all the yellow cells and counting how many of them differ by at least 5 from that. How many of them, if you're familiar with our German whispers rule that we sometimes apply, it's how many possible green lines you might get. So if those were valid green lines, because this was a 3 and these digits were 8s and 9s, then there would be, yeah, there would actually be 3 connections. So that seems sort of possible. Wow, okay, that's an odd rule, but there we go. That is the rule we are given. That is the only rule we're given, just that and these circles and arrows, or they are the only 2 rules. Do give it a try on that for second link under the puzzle. I'm going to start now. Let's get cracking. So, well, the normal principle in puzzles with circles that are minesweeping the cells around them is to start in the corners and edges. We don't have any on the edges, only corners here. So the maximum that these cells can be is a 3. But I don't know. I mean, they could, okay, they couldn't be a 3, actually, either of them, because 3 only connects with the digits 8 or 9. And to connect, I mean, it's like this, to connect all 3 cells with green lines, then all 3 of these cells would have to be 8 or 9, and that's too many 8s and 9s for a single box. So these are 1s or 2s, but having said that, we've said absolutely everything we can say about them. And that's not the way to go. So maybe it's the circles with arrows in. I mean, the more important principle than starting on the edges is that circumstances alter cases. And that is a maxim that we're going to have to apply here. Right, the black circles which have arrows. Oh, well, this one has to be at least 6, because those 3 digits are all different. They must be at least 1, 2, 3. So that's a high digit in these German whisper terms. I doubt that this colouring will survive. This one is high as well, not because that arrow could actually only add up to, well, given that 5, and that one 3. But this one is going to have to add up to at least 6 there and at least 1 there. So this is pretty high. Oh, and this is counting these yellow cells. Well, it can't be a 9 because there's only 8 of them. That's true there as well. Oh, this is huge. Right. Almost either every cell in the yellow section is 5 away from 8, or 7 of them are 5 away from 7. Oh, that's really strange. So that lowercase, you would normally, when we do these sort of minesweeper puzzles, it's obviously much more likely that you get a 7 rather than an 8 in a cell like this, because that doesn't require every single cell to obey the rule, and it gives you a bit of license. But here, that license is taken away by this German whisper rule. If, for instance, you had 7 of these cells with green, missed it, with green lines to them, and a 7 in that center of this focus place, all of these would have to be 1s and 2s. Well, that's too many in some row or column, unquestionably. That won't work. You cannot put a 7 in a cell like this. And that means this is an 8. It also means up here, this is not 7, and it certainly isn't 6, which would require 6 of these cells to be 1s. And that would definitely break Sudoku rules. That must be an 8 as well. And now every digit surrounding the 8 is a 1, 2, or 3. And that must be exactly the same up here. And not only is every one a 1, 2, 3, that's going to use up the 1s, 2s and 3s in lots of rows and columns. In column 2, 4, 6, 8, rows 2, 4, 6, 8. And we begin to see the beauty of this puzzle, I think. Lithium ion, what a genius. I mean, this is mad. Now, what I'm doing now is something that I don't have to do and you wouldn't expect me to do. But in those rows 2, 4, 6, 8, columns 2, 4, 6, 8, we've used up all the 1, 2, 3s. So now I have coloured light blue all the cells that contain the digits 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And they are limited sets. And I don't know if that's going to help. It almost certainly isn't. But it's really interesting. Right. Now, oh, actually, we can go further because box 1 and box 9 have used up their 3 yellow cells. This puzzle now, on my weird colouring scheme, is going to contain only 3 yellows and 6 blues in every row and column and box. Let's make the oranges blues. There we go. And look, yeah, I can finish the 3rd yellow in box 5. That's so strange. And the 3 yellows in row 1. I mean, this is quite interesting. And in column 1, and in row 9, and in column 9. Isn't that fabulous? And then I've done the 3 yellows in all of the boxes. All of the boxes. Everything else is blue. Now I've positioned all of the 1s, 2s, and 3s in this puzzle. I don't know which is which, but they're all in these positions. Oh, I mean, my hat is off, lithium ion. This is just incredible. I did not think any pattern like this was going to emerge from this puzzle. I promise. That is so weird. Right, this digit is 5, 6, or 7 to make the arrow work. And that one is 5, 6, or 7. This one, oh, I can see a digit. I'm going to get a digit. This one is 4 or 5 because it can't be one of the 1, 2, 3 digits. But it... Oh, hang on. This one could be a 6 with 2 1s on its arrow. I'd forgotten about repeats for a second. But it's this arrow that's going to give me my first digit, because those 3 definitely add up to 6, and this digit must be a 2. Bingo. Now I can eliminate 2 from a whole bunch of cells. Well, oh, it turns out to be only 5 cells. I thought it was going to be more. But I've got these other circles now. Which one can I use? If this was a 1, only one of these cells could be from 6, 7, 8, or 9. No, if that was a 1, it's already touching an 8. None of them could be from 6, 7, 8, or 9. And they can't be from 1, 2, or 3, and that won't work. They would all have to be from 4 and 5. Do you see, this cell touches all of these cells. And if it was a 1, that's really weird. The extreme... It's so strange. Just as I was expecting this to be a more middly digit, and it turned out it had to be quite extreme, I was expecting this to be a more extreme digit, but it turns out it has to be quite middly. If that was a 1, none of these could be 6, 7, 8, or 9, because the 1 connection would already have been made there. And if they couldn't be from 6, 7, 8, 9, we can see they also can't be from 1, 2, and 3. They would all have to be from 4 and 5. But there are 3 of them. They can't all be from 4 and 5. They're in the same column. So that is a 3. And now I get a bit more digiting elimination to do. And it's told me that this digit is a 1. Then I get a 2 in the corner, a 3 in the box, a 1 in the row, a 3 in the box, a 3 in the column. And now this digit, all of these can't be 3s. And now I've got a 1, 2 pair in box 6, and that's a 3. And that makes this a 1, and that a 2. And I'm beginning to suddenly fill in the 1s, 2s, and 3s in the puzzle, which is a form of witchcraft that I did not expect. They can't be 3s, so that's a 2-1 pair. That's a 3. That's not. This corner cell sees a 1 now, so that's a 2, that's a 3, that's a 1. This is not a 3, so there's only one place for 3 in the box. And now in the yellow cells, I'm down to 3 pairs of 1-2s to resolve. And I expect we can use the same technique, maybe on the top. No, I don't think it works. Not on the top row, because those could be. No, they couldn't. The same technique does work. It works fine. They can't, if that was a 1, these couldn't be from 6, 7, 8, or 9. They also can't be from 3, 1, 2. So they would all have to be 4s and 5s, and there's too many of them, let alone that that digit is also a 4 or 5. So that digit is a 2. And on its arrow, this is a 6. Oh, I can complete this arrow with a 5, this one with a 7. All of the arrows are done, apart from this one. But now that 2 is done, we finish off the 1s and 2s. And that digit is a 4. And what a... I mean, it's 10 minutes in, and suddenly the puzzle is full of digits. Now, we haven't finished using these circles. What I am going to do is get rid of the colouring, because that job is done. Brilliant. Everything else we have to put in the grid is higher than 3, because all the 1s, 2s, and 3s are in. And now we have to start considering all of the individual circles. So it's much harder. If when this was the ones in 3s, sorry, the circles that have 3s in are probably the best ones, because they have to touch 8 and 9 only, the 3 times. So this one is good. This one is already touching that digit. That's one of them. It's going to have to touch one of these 2 and that one. I know it's not both of those 2, because they'd have to be 8 and 9, and we've already had 8 in the box. So one of them is 9, and that one is therefore 8. And you can see 2 of its touches, one of them will be with one of those digits. So that's a really good one. This 3, there's a bit more variability. It's going to need an 8, well, no, it's going to need 2 more digits out of 8, 9 in this yellow area. I don't think that's doable at the moment. So let's try and use what we've done. 5 by Sudoku now can't go in those cells. So this becomes a 9-5 pair. We don't really need this colouring anymore because it's done its job. That's a 4-6 pair by Sudoku. This is an 8-9 pair. In this column we've got a 4-6 pair. Right, I'm going to look at this 2. We somehow have to branch away from... Ah, no, this 2 is not having a connection to this cell. So it must connect to that one and that one. And therefore those are from 7, 8, or 9. Those are the digits 2 is allowed to connect to. And up here we have 1, because that 2 connects to 8. We have 1 digit from 7, 8, or 9, but not 2. So the third one from 7, 8, or 9 in this row goes in the corner. That's so strange. And one of these 2 is a 5 instead, because that's all we've got left. It's a very interesting puzzle. I really have to say, very, very interesting. This 2's no good. It's got 1 connection there, but one of the... Oh, well, one of these is 8 or 9. No, it's 7, 8, or 9. Yeah, that is no good. That 3 didn't really work for me. This 2 sees one of these 3 cells being from 7, 8, or 9, because it's got that connection already. So only one of these is from 7, 8, or 9. And therefore in this column, 2 of these are. Does that help? Doesn't feel like it's the most helpful thing. Don't know. Oh, by Sudoku, one of these digits is an 8. That's slightly more information than I had before. one of these two is an 8. Oh, well that is much more information than I had before. That's by Sudoku because of that 8 and that 8, ruling out those cells. Now, why that is good is because this 2 is connecting with that digit, and its other green line connection will be with whichever one of those is an 8. So now this digit can't be a green line connection to the 2 and has to be 4, 5 or 6. And the same is true about this digit, which stops it being yellow. Because I was using yellow to mean the 8s and 9s that surround that 3. Well, that was an interesting 2. That one has a 5 at the top, doesn't it? The other one of these digits that isn't an 8 is 4, 5 or 6. So the 7 and 9 in this box are confined to these cells now. And that means these digits are from 4, 5, 6. Now, I was going to say something about 8s and 9s, but I don't know. If this is a 9, only one of these is 8 or 9. But if that is not a 9, both of these are 8 and 9, and then we can do quite a lot in the box. That would be a 6, 7 pair, that would be a 5, 4 pair. We'd have real information going on. Now I'm sort of running out of circles. I haven't, here's one. Here's the last one that I haven't really considered much. This 2 has got its 2 connections already, very clearly. It's connecting to those 2. So this digit can't be a 9. I was more going to think about those, but this one's important. This can't be a 9 now, so that's 5. Doesn't do much else, but it does that. And these 2 are from 4, 5 or 6, so they don't connect with the 2. Oh, that's good. In the box and in the row, we formed 4, 5, 6 triples. So that's a 7, 9 pair. That's interesting for this. The 4, 5, 6 triple here means everything else, nearly, is 7, 8, 9. That is the only digit that's allowed to, so that, I mean, it's got a definite connection to that cell now. And therefore it must be the 8 that was going to also be the definite connection to that 2. So that's the 8. That means these aren't 8s. I still don't know about these because it depends for that 3 on whether this is 7 or 9. Now maybe this 2 is coming into its own. Oh, that digit is 4, 5 or 6. One of these is an 8. Now this digit 2 here, it sees that 8. That's one of its 2 connections, and one of these, yes, right. Therefore, 2 of these ones had to be from 7, 8, 9, and that's now these 2. And that's a 7, 8, 9 triple in the box, and this is a 4, 6 pair, and that makes this digit a 5. Isn't this beautiful? We need a 5 in the top row, and that's now got to be there. This digit is from 7, 8, 9. Probably need a colour for my 7, 8, 9s in a moment. Well, I'm not going to because I've got these yellows going still, and they mean something to me. Now, this digit sees 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the column and a 7, 9 pair, so it's 6 or 8. This must be 4, 6 or 8 because we've had 7, 9 in the box. Now, is it this 2? This 2 is seeing 1 from 7, 8, 9 here, and this 3, I don't know. The 3 is now not having both of those as its connecting cells, because they would be 8 and 9, and they would break these cells. They wouldn't force them both to be 7. So if both of those aren't connecting with the 3, that one is, and must be a 9. Now, one of these is the 3rd digit from 7, 8, 9, and that digit is not from 7, 8, 9, and is 5 or 6, and does not connect to the 2. I feel like there's more. I've learned something more, and I can't quite access it. So I should just fill in some candidates while I try and think about that. This can't be 8. Oh, this digit has become a 4 in its box. And that's 7 or 9. We're getting quite a few 7-9 pairs left now. That one can't be 7 or 9 though, so here's another 7-9 pair. And this digit has to be a 4. This one is a known 8. That fix, look, we're going to get the high digits in the middle column, and that's going to be very important. 7 there, 9 there. Let's just finish these ones off first. The high digits being unwound everywhere. This has not been the hardest lithium-ion puzzle, but it's been one of the cleverest. 1, 7, 9, 2, 3. We need an 8 in this column, and it can't go there by Sudoku, so it's here. So this digit is not yellow. It's not 7, 8, or 9. It's 5 or 6. Okay, good. Job done on the circles, I think, now. Now the rest is Sudoku, as Hamlet wanted to say at the end of the play. 9, 7, that's an 8. 8, I say. This is now a 9 because it sees 8 and 7. There's a pair of lines I can get rid of. I imagine those are done, and I haven't worked it out. Yes, they're done via this cell. There, and it is all just flowing beautifully to a conclusion. This is such an elegant puzzle. Really, really interesting. Totally not what I was expecting all over again. Oh, I've still got to use a circle there somewhere. Let's do these first. Oh, something very... I've got to use a circle here as well, have I? No, hang on, I can't. No, there's no circle to use here. This is just Sudoku. Starting with that 5, I can do these last 3 pairs. But here, these are a deadly pattern. No, they're not. They can't be, because that circle doesn't touch either of those. They're not. There's that 4 there. They're not a deadly pattern, Mark. You don't know what you're talking about again. There we go. That is beautiful. Counting and whispering. Oh, not many people have done that. I hope by the time you do it, more people have accessed this, because it's a really wonderful puzzle. Lithium-ion, very special constructor, and that is an absolute joy. And it wasn't that hard. Perfect for today, Lithium. Thank you. I will see you guys again tomorrow. Again, thank you very much for everybody who congratulated me. It was far more people than I was expecting, because the Times made that live stream available, I guess. But absolute pleasure to be with you, and hope to see you again tomorrow. Bye for now.